In the last video, I told you something simple and uncomfortable. Wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. Today, I want to take that idea one step further, because before people talk about millions, before investing, before freedom, there is one milestone that quietly separates people who move forward from people who stay stuck.
Before we go further, make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss future videos.
Your first $10,000 saved, not earned, saved, and most people never reach it. Why most people fail early? Data from multiple behavioral finance studies shows the same pattern. Most people who set aggressive savings goals quit within the first few months. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't earn enough, but because saving is taught backwards. People are told to be disciplined, cut expenses, just try harder. That doesn't work long term, because your brain doesn't experience saving as progress. It experiences it as loss. Psychologists call this loss aversion. The idea that losing money feels significantly more painful than gaining the same amount feels good. So every time you try to save manually, your brain resists. That's not a character flaw. That's biology. In the first video, I talked about controlling expenses and living below your means. I also mentioned spending 10 to 15% during my building phase. Let me be very clear again. That number is not a rule for everyone. It's a principle. The real idea is this. You must create a system where money stays with you instead of disappearing. That's what your first $10,000 is really about. Not the number, the control. Why $10,000 matters. $10,000 doesn't make you rich, but it changes how you think. It's the first time. You stop living paycheck to paycheck. You stop panicking at small emergencies. You realize money can stay instead of vanish. This is why many financial planners quietly agree on one thing. Your first serious savings goal should be a buffer, not an investment fantasy. $10,000 is psychological armor. The right way to save, system greater than willpower. Here's what actually works. Not motivation, not discipline. Automation. Research on saving behavior consistently shows that people who automate savings save multiple times more than those who rely on manual transfers. Why? Because the decision happens once, not every month. The simplest structure looks like this. Money enters your account. A portion is moved automatically. You live on what remains. You don't decide to save every time. Saving becomes the default. That's how wealthy people operate, even if they never explain it. Breaking down $10,000 without fear. $10,000 sounds intimidating, so your brain shuts down. But let's reduce the emotion. $10,000 in 1 year is roughly $833 per month, about $27 per day. That's not luxury money, that's leakage money. Not everything here applies to everyone, especially lower incomes, and that's fine. The point is awareness, not punishment. Saving is not about becoming miserable. It's about becoming intentional. Present bias. Why you know better but still spend. There's another mental trap that destroys savings. It's called present bias. Your brain heavily favors rewards now over rewards later. That's why you understand saving logically, but still spend emotionally. You can't fight this by being stronger. What works is reframing. Instead of thinking, I'm losing money today, you think, I'm building something concrete. People who visualize a specific financial outcome, not just a vague idea, are far more likely to stick to savings goals. Your brain needs a destination, not a spreadsheet. Impulse control without deprivation. Let me tell you something most people get wrong about saving. They think saving means saying no all the time. No to coffee, no to clothes, no to enjoyment, no to life. That's why most people quit, because the human brain doesn't respond well to constant rejection. So instead of saying no, I use a different rule. I say, not now. That small change matters more than you think. When you want to buy something impulsively, a phone, shoes, a subscription, a random upgrade, don't argue with yourself. Don't justify it. Don't fight it. Just write it down. Literally put it on a list. Then wait 30 days. What happens during those 30 days is interesting. The emotional urgency fades. The excitement cools down. Your rational brain finally shows up. Studies on delayed decision-making show that most impulse purchases are driven by emotion, not logic. And emotion has a very short lifespan. After time passes, one of two things happens. Either you realize, I don't actually need this, or you still want it, calmly without emotion. And if you still want it after that time, buy it. No guilt. That's not discipline. That's control. Wealth isn't built by denying yourself forever. It's built by slowing decisions down until emotions stop lying to you. Now let's talk about the part no one likes to admit, because this isn't about budgeting apps or spreadsheets. It's about ego. Most people think the equation is income minus expenses equals savings. That's wrong. The real equation is income minus ego equals wealth. A huge percentage of spending has nothing to do with need. It has to do with looking successful, keeping up, proving something, being seen, new car, better phone, more expensive lifestyle, not because it brings long-term happiness, but because it sends a signal. Here's the dangerous part. As income increases, ego usually increases faster. So the person earning more doesn't feel richer. They feel pressured. That's why you see people making great money and still stressed, still broke, still stuck, because every raise becomes permission to upgrade their identity. True wealth works differently. Real money moves quietly. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't chase validation. It doesn't need proof. The richest people I've met didn't look rich. They had something better: control. Saving your first $10,000 isn't about sacrifice. It's about systems. Automation instead of willpower. Delay instead of denial. Awareness instead of ego. You don't need a higher income to start. You don't need a new strategy. You don't need motivation. You need control. Because once you control where your money goes, money stops controlling you. And that's when the game changes. In the next videos, we'll go deeper into budgeting that actually works in real life, how saving looks different at different income levels, and why wealth is built slowly, quietly, not overnight. This channel isn't about hype. It's not about shortcuts. It's about reality. And if you understand reality, you eventually win.
Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell for more content like this.